Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here for the 10 for 10 for 1,000 watch list, which is the original high probability watch list from years and years ago, 2007 to 2009, maybe 2010. We had the 10 for 1,000 watch list. Things have grown since then and morphed into some better stuff. But this video is going to be a good one. We're going to split it kind of. We're going to talk some stocks for next week, but we're also going to continue with the trading of the micro ES futures, the MES, and using that as a tool during the day to find good trades. I'm sitting in front of the computer all day, and we're broadcasting the markets as broadcasters, trying to cover everything, but also trying to be focused on some individual trades, short term, and also add into some longer term trades. So it's very busy, and sometimes I miss some of them, but that's what I think, the whole community comes into play with the effort that goes into the chat rooms, and I'm able to see these things. If I don't get to see them, I get alerted to them. So a lot of the thanks goes to the members of Day Trading Radio. For helping us succeed in trading these. I mean, the more eyes, the better. And if you see something, say something. It's a great New York City subway sign. If you see something, say something. If you see a divergence, I don't see it, or something, maybe a time frame or something. Here was our last divergence right here. Jumped into that, even though I'm not on the mic. I'm behind the scenes doing the research, and I'm watching the market as it's going. I'm like, oh my God, look at this. I saw it right away. I was sitting here. And when you're sitting here and you see it happening, and the easy part here was we were pulling back, and I saw this candle, and I said, this is really not even doing anything. It's nowhere near being oversold. We're making lows. This looks like a perfect divergence. So I anticipated divergence, got in very early on that same candle. Candle closed and then took off. And it got up to the close here, closing price of yesterday's action. And that's when I came back. Actually, I ran to the store at this time. So I got the divergence. I put a stop underneath the divergence low, and I just went out and got my coffee. And I came back and was right here, and I just took it off. But now looking back at it, the strength is there. I'm not going to get in here and chase this, but I want to be able to focus on the setup, and be truly focused on it. Not be a gambler, but be a card counter. I know that's a little casino here. Not everything plays out. Not everything's going to be perfect. It's not an exact science. But we can get the edge by knowing the odds of the game and where things line up and where we get the reactions usually. So if you're able to, identify that as the algorithms are identifying that, to get in when everyone else is getting in and why you're getting those bounces. This was another really nice, close to being a really good divergence. It was a divergence, and in a slight way, going to lower low. But what was really lined up here was this recent pivot here, and then this candle pivot. So you can extend that on both directions, and this plus the 200 period moving average plus the pivot. That was just too many good things here. Also the the rotation back down here to turn back up, and you got a nice little bounce. So I'm just going back right here and just kind of mentioning, what we're looking for each day. Maybe we get two setups, but you can and this setup right here probably should have been taken some more contracts. I only throw in my 2 in there. But I would have, like I said, each day I come in, I say, I see a real good divergence early in the morning. It could be a bottom or a top. Maybe it's a 5-minute, which this was a 5-minute also. Then you go in deeper. Then you could throw in maybe, if you wanted to, 10 contracts. Each situation. See that's the tradeometer for this. This is the Rockbot for this session so far, and this is on the 5-minute time frame. So this was the 5-minute. This was the latest divergence on the 5-minute time frame. And it was a nice divergence, and took it up, and they called the bottom there, and that was, some really good setups today on the Rockbot. And then Paul mentioned that the tradeometer, which I don't have on this computer, so I can't show it to you right now, but same thing. So take advantage of those. All right, you have access to those as a member of Day Trading Radio, so take advantage of all these: the Rockbot channel, the Tradeometer, and me calling the markets. And let's work together and continue to make those $20 bill trades and $50 bill trades, and just continue to compound it. And then again, you're going to see good divergences where you go in deep, or you go in heavy. Other ones maybe not as, maybe a little bit more volatility. Maybe you could drop it down to 1 or 2 contracts. It's up to you. Sorry for that phone call, my sister. Anyway, market looks pretty strong here. The highs are right above us. We're going into the weekend. Like I said, I wanted to just go over to talk about a little bit more about how we're going to jump on these setups. This was almost what I would consider a bull flag here. Now, there's a very strong bull flag called the 2020 bull flag, and this one's a bull flag also, but it's just pulled back to the 50. Both of these moving averages usually work out well. The key is having the slow stochastic down here, the 60-10, higher above 80. If this thing is back down to the 50, it got through the 20, but it's to the 50, and this is holding above 80. That is an extremely bullish area, especially when it's in the lower part of a tight channel. So there's little things, even the channel width coming down to it, the moving average, the oversold stochastics, and the embedded stochastic. That's a perfect flag. Me talking about it, I didn't end up taking this. I should have took this, but I was on the phone. But that's how important it is. So when we identify a good level, you need to take it. You got to get paid. You got to at least put in the work. That was a great setup. I missed that. If you see something, say something. All right. On the stock side of things, just kind of a little update. We're in a couple momentum stocks, and a lot of people, so I want to go over those. A lot of people in the same stocks in the room here at Day Trading Radio. Let's see here. First of all, here's the S&P. The S&P needs to go. We need to go over that just for a second here. The overall market conditions. I call it market radar. When we broke down here, we became pretty bullish. I think I was one of the few that said I'm expecting a big upside day and then the follow-through days and possibly get us back up to the underlying trend line. That's where I would love to see a target. And from that point on, then we'll deal with it. But I still think the strength is in this market up to that, unless we have any type of shocking news coming out of Asia or something that just derails this. I feel like, hey, everyone knows what's going on here. Hey, look back at the history of what's happened here. Once we pulled back and we started getting some momentum, that momentum here grew real fast and real, so we're at a point where we're going to get to a point where people are saying this thing's starting to get away from us again, and they're going to jump back in. Daily stochastics are extremely bullish. Today's chart is actually extremely bullish. It's holding that upward trend line. I don't just see too much bad news. I mean, we still have that Evergrande overhanging us. They have a 30-day grace period, so it's not going to be happening next week, but eventually maybe something does happen off of that. The other thing just to mention is a flag breakout, typically gets a little bit out, maybe the new high before turning over. You have to be in, recognize it, and be out. All right. So there's the hourly, and then the daily. Again, there's the daily. So I wanted to just take a look at the 5-minute here for a second. All right. Yeah, everything just looks pretty good. So we're going to talk a few stocks, a couple of new stocks that, we have the CEI, which has become an internet type of meme stock. Some high-profile Twitter traders are pushing this one. So I got in on the flag, this nice little flag here. I like the flag. It held strength. We got the pop. We're looking for. I might be out of it. Let me double check right now. I didn't even check. I am at 1,000 shares. Yep, I sold 1,000 shares. So let me throw that out there. I didn't even realize it was gone because I'm not looking at it. But I'm out of this now. 221, 220 actually. Let me send this out fast. Hold on just a second. I'm going to pause the video here so I can send out stuff and there's not too much dead air. All right, well, just getting off the phone. I got people calling and stuff. So I just took off 1,000 shares as a CEI. CEI off 1,000 shares at 220. We get the Rockstar effect, which is why I take this off in pieces. Because every time we sell it, it goes higher. And that's great. CEI here, 227. That was one of the stocks we were going to talk about. And the other one was the DATS here. And DATS looking really good above $11. And that one brought to us by Tight Stops, one of the members. And great setup. Great call on that. A lot of the members are in this, riding this one higher. Hold on to it. It seems like it's just starting. The momentum's just starting. And CEI is still looking really, really good. So, again, just holding 1,000 shares left now. But I would hold on to 3. I would definitely get rid of it at 3. We got to 3. I would be out of it. We got 275. I'm out of it. I had to. I'll be out of it in 2 minutes if it doesn't start going back up. There it is. Market here kind of flagging out now, kind of rolling over. I'm waiting for the next setup. We've been embedded up here for a while. And if we look at the cash chart one more time, we might actually see a little pullback in the markets. The time is 12:53. I don't know. I'm not. It's riding the wave there. We are extended on the 5-minute. It does make a lot of sense to see a little rotation down here. A little rotation down here. But I'm not going to play that. I'm not going to the market has been strong. I feel the market overall is going higher. The bigger trend is stronger. The little pullbacks are tougher to get. Even when it seems obvious, the market will chew through those people who are taking those shorts, push the market higher, and then continue to do that. Let's see what here. Let's see what. So the other couple other stocks that are finally starting to move, and an update on some things that are, last week we discussed some of these IPOs and how important to get into the ones before they really start to take off. Unity's made a big move, and that's one of my core positions. I love the Unity. I'm going to stay in it. I think we get back up to all-time highs, which is up here, 170s. Trading at 140. 150 is not going to be an issue. That closes the gap. We already gapped up. Kramer interviewed him. Kind of fought through the Kramer kiss of death, and it's still looking very good. It's the builders of the metaverse. The software for augmented reality and virtual reality. It looks fine. So probably going to see another spike in that to wherever that's going to go. Not planning on getting rid of that. There's a couple of new ones here I wanted to go over. Hold on, let me go back here a second. One of the easier trades this week I thought was Disney. Disney came right down, dropped right down to the trend line, and started to bounce. We grabbed it on the bounce, sold it yesterday on the pop. Today it's kind of consolidating. But Disney, look at the trend line. This was really, really crazy the way this. Their pivots are so exact. One in November, one back here at the beginning of the corona, or at the bottom at the corona there. And then right here, we came down basically to the penny. This other candle is just a false candle, the error on the charts. But this one wasn't. I actually looked at it when it happened. It was just amazing how we come down to these levels. So we had to take that. Got a nice little bounce. 177 was the target. It got up to 177.30. And that's where it is right now. But we're out of that. I'm out of that. You could still be in it. Still probably a great trade at this point. But for anything that gets shot down on a quality name like that is something. Doximity, I ended up picking up some. 40 shares at 89 and change. It's down a little off of this. I put it on the gap down. It's a 5 to 7 day pullback. We're in our fifth. I like to see that 6-7 day start to ramp back up. It's one of those IPO setups, so we took a little rotation. And we're probably going to focus on some other IPOs today. This looks okay. I mean, there's nothing going on really with it. It falls into the IPO type of thing, category there. Oscar, a lot of people were actually in the Oscar also. And Oscar, since the last insider buying, there was a couple insider buying back here. Josh Kushner's firm. And it's been just sideways here. So nothing really going on with it right now. But all this gray area was tons and tons of insider buying. So we're holding the 20-period moving average. I think we can get to 20 on this. But nothing happened. No updates on that. Not adding to it. I have 400 shares at 17.50. We bought Upstart. We traded Upstart, and we got a nice trade on that. And that continues to be very, very strong. So strong. Wow. So on the pullbacks, I guess that's where we got 7 points out of it. I'm not going to chase it up here now. Well, just going back on some of the things. The GameStop, we shorted GameStop. Had a good short in it. I could have got a lot more on the short if I was a little bit more patient. I ended up taking about 7 points off of it. So, well, not a lot considering. Short into that candle right here. Now you can see where we are. We're down much more. Or actually, the gap down. Yeah, that's it on that. No longer in that either. So. All right. Here's on ThoughtWorks. We're in it real fast. Got 3 points on it. We're in at $30 out of $34. So we got out right at the highs, and then we look back at it. It would have been a great short. Oh my God, would have been a great short. So it's actually back down here. Maybe it starts to look like a buy here. This is going to fall into one of our categories. What I could see happening with this right now, I could actually see this start to pen it out, meaning start to move back up here towards that 32 and then chop back down and then eventually make a move. So this actually is a nice area on TWKS. Let's write that one down. I might actually take a little of this down here. Let me take the 5-minute chart and break it and see what we're looking at. All right. We just had a little pop. It's consolidating. We had a decent little volume there, spike. It's starting to move back up. So, yeah, I kind of like this. 60-minute time frame is oversold. All right, I want to take a little of this right here. All right, let me bring that up on the screen over here. They call it Twinks. I don't like the name. Yeah, this looks good here. All right, hold on. All right, I had to reboot my computer there. Something exploded on it. So let me pick it up right where we left off. It's coming actually into 3:30, so last half hour of the day. Market has started to rally at the end of the day. And we're pushing back up towards the highs. We're getting there. And I'm extremely bullish going into next week right now. I think this is looking pretty good. Everything else is looking good. I mean, we have plenty of stocks to go over. Our main focus, again, trading the MES on time so we can find any stocks. The But the market here rallying nice now. So I was doing some research, and we know that we pick some of our stocks from some of the more aggressive or volatile, high beta names that are, still have a lot of momentum in them. Not the boring ones, but right now the market's carrying everything higher, so it's just good to be long. But there is some that we want to keep an eye on. So making that list and keeping it pretty tight to stocks that are very strong, have the potential. I want to go over that one more time. The FinViz market. That's my email. Sorry about that. First of all, here's the market map for today, and it's kind of it's nothing fantastic. It's mixed. If best, the market's up 9 points. Financials are performing better. But remember, if you go up here to the screening section here, if you go over here to the screener, open that up, and I'm just going to take a screen of recent IPOs going out to the last quarter. So first page there, IPO date, the last quarter, and then I'm just going to go from the price, the highest price to the lowest price. And then hit that, so it's the high price first, and then you just click on charts, and from that point on we get a visual of certain possible setups that I like off the patterns. Now DUOL has continued to show good strength. It's like a 3-day consolidation here. It looks really good. Who knows where that's, some of these stocks you have to do some research just to feel comfortable. There's so many new unicorns out there. There's so many new companies that are coming out there. You don't know if they're the next Salesforce or the next Facebook. So some of these that you might not be familiar with that have good charts, the people in the know. People in the know. That's a Yogi Bearism. Doximity, that possible, definitely. I picked up 40 shares of this, not much. GXO is another one here. I like the flag here. So I wrote that one down. The GXO, the DOCS, dual. All right, and then Sentinel One. I'm watching that one. VSCO, Victoria's Secrets. I'm probably not that interested in it. Here's the Dutch Brothers. Had a nice pop. It's been active recently, and there's a lot. There's, again, keeping our eye on some of the older ones. They're going by price right now. Oh, which one I kind of like today is the Toast, T-O-S-T. Toast is at $55 right now. Toast. So Toast here was an IPO. It came down for three days. I mean, 65 all the way down to 55 right now. 10-point move off of it. Starting to move up a little. But again, probably next week I'll be paying attention to it. Maybe one more flush, and we'll start looking at it. Apparel, retail, onion, therapeutics. Here's the Twinks, TW ThoughtWorks. And I am back into ThoughtWorks. This is the IPO we got into today, so I don't know if I mentioned that earlier on the video, such a long time ago. TWKS. We had a good trade on it back here when it first became IPO-ish and ran all the way up. Now it's pulled all the way back up. So picked up 40 shares at $28.58. $28.58. It dropped under 28 a bit here. Started to move a little. I got a 28.58 and it started popping. I think I got it right around here. It was consolidated. And then it kind of got up to 29. Now it's pulled back down here. But again, I don't think the risk is that much here down. $25, $26. I only have 40 shares. So in that one today, TWKS. instruments. So yeah, dice is interesting. I have to look into them more. You gotta, I mean, especially the drugs company, a stock like this, a biotech company here. You really got to dig down and see what they're known for. Whoa, look at that starting to move right in front of me. That looks actually quite interesting, huh? That looks quite interesting. Under the radar, consolidating here. I'm going to go into, I got to read up on it a bit, but it does look, I mean, if this thing goes, for whatever reason, it goes right to 40 or higher. It's not really pulling back too much. It's starting to hold this level. I gotta look into it, and I think that's something I'll do today. But that is on the watch list. I might even get a position today, small, because it'll go. When it goes, it's going to go fast if it goes. So I want to read up on it a little bit more, see if there's any catalyst on there. I'll keep you updated on this one. Let me just do a little bit more research on it. My ITI looking good. It's at the highs of the day. If we look at the daily chart, came down. Now we have a 2-day kind of rally through the 20-period moving average. Stayed inside the channel overall. This is a beautiful downward channel. Beautiful in a way that it's, I think it's pretty defined, and we're getting up towards that trend line. Again, pretty decent company. They have contracts. They always come out with new contracts to do traffic control. It's definitely an infrastructure play. Just not moving yet. The volume's not bad today. It's already at 100% volume, being a Friday. I think that's a pretty good sign for this one. Volume's actually up a little more than yesterday at this time. Something's going on. There's a little accumulation going on here. The stochastics are very bullish right now. Everything looks really good on this. If we had news on this thing would rocket. So just waiting for news, but it does look strong right now. There's stair steps up here, a little volume coming in here, new highs on the day. All right, just sold my Goodyear tire, GT. Alerts went out into the room. Goodyear tire came up, hit our target, $18 our target. This was actually nice. Had no heat on this really too much. Just worked its way up and still looks pretty good, but like I said, I wanted to keep it disciplined. Had a nice 2-day, 3-day run here. We're kind of extended, no problems taking this off. And I just got into a new one. Thank you very much. Just rotated into, I just sent the alert out. I want to make sure it went out okay, because I can't see anything. All right, UHS. United Health Services, and this is basically on a combination of it's a multiple indicator setup. Really a big reversal candle. Check 1, check 2 to 200 period moving average. Check 3. It's been oversold, and it's been oversold for quite a bit. So we kind of grinded down here. So this is a nice setup. I like it. It's off to 200. There's also, you could also make an argument here for a kind of a lower trend line zone-ish. You know, that's what I'm kind of feeling, like something like this. This pivot, this pivot, and we kind of hit that right there. So a lot of things I like on this. We'll put it on the watch list. It's on the watch list. In it, our target will probably be 5 points, 150 to 160. Well, 150 to 152, 153. Also like that we're kind of past this 5 to 7 day pullback, which is good. So this looks really good. Update on the VRTX. This was one that's actually I'm underwater on. I have 40 shares of this. I picked it up at 199, just right around here, and it kind of fell off with the market with the downgrade. Knowing that there was insider buying here, I'm still in it. The candle today is a little bit better. It's nothing really great. The the pullback off of $300. I mean, this level down here, even though I'm underwater on it a bit. I want to hold on to this and see if we get a nice pop on it next week. I think we get back up to above 190. I'm not planning on adding to it, adjusting my cost average a bit. But it does look ready to move back up. Again, this was caused by a downgrade. Plus the market it wasn't in bad condition at this point. And we got the follow through. Now we're really oversold. A little better candle. Insider buying above it. Maybe we get some more insider buying down here if it was a bargain there. And so next week going into this, hoping for better things on this. Let's see what else we have. This one looks really, really good. I keep on mentioning it each week. It had a nice pullback. That was about it. It's consolidating. It's still looking good. 123. I mean, this could easily, who knows where it could be. So I'm waiting for opportunities on those. The Twinks, we did get the pullback, so I did mention that. We're in that pullback today. Dice, I'm still working on that one. The USH, again, you just started that position. What was it? UHS, sorry. UHS. That is okay. What else I have on my list here? Uh-oh. All right, Teladoc. This is a great area, 134. Got 30 shares here at 134.06. It popped up. I continue to hold it. It's back down to the 134.75. Still in it. It hasn't done much. It almost got going here. It did a little down day today. It's a little concerning that it didn't get any pop. It looks kind of weak here. There's a huge trend line down below us here at 113. That's another 20 points below us. 20 points. Yeah. All right. So just an update on that one. That is a high risk. I wouldn't consider this an HPS setup. It's actually kind of buying a fallen knife and trying just to time this correctly. There's no real divergence here yet, but we are seeing a little strength in the stochastics, even though the price is moving down. It seems to be fine. Well, if we have a definite divergence coming up, I'll let you know about it. That'll be the time to get in, or any type of big reversal. The reversal can. Hey, check this out. Oh, I left the thing on. I have to fix that. All right, check this out. I was just looking up this IPO, recent IPO, GXO, logistics, and a nice little run here, nice little pullback. This absolutely looks really good. And what I'm seeing in here is there was a little divergence here between this low and this low, holding up, and a little pullback into that. So I said, all right, what is this? Logistics. Why is it leisure? I don't know. Let's look it up. So I just looked it up, and guess what it says here? Is the largest pure play contract logistics company in the world, a leader in cutting edge warehousing and distribution. They design, manage, and optimize supply chains, delivering everything. What's the big thing about what's happening today? Supply chains are disrupted. Everything is backed up. This seems like a perfect opportunity for this company to get little eyeballs on it. I don't think many people are looking at it. But all I'm hearing in the news is supply chain issues, chips, everything, and it's going to get worse. Someone's going to focus on this one. Largest pure play contract logistic company, delivering customized technical tech-enabled solutions to scale to the most successful companies. To optimize supply chains, to manage and optimize supply chains. 66,000 employees. Revenue $7 billion. It just looks very interesting here. What's the market cap? Market cap's only nine. Revenue $7 billion. The market cap's $9 billion. This looks really interesting. I have to read into it a little bit more, but on the surface, pure play, best, largest, recent IPO, perfect flag here. I think this is a no-brainer. I really think this is a no-brainer. Look at this flag. Oh, what are we doing here? Market's closed. All right, so this is definitely going on the list. GXO. It's an IPO. It's great. It's good. All right, I'm very happy with that. All right, I'm going to leave it at that one. Leave it at that one. The new ones we got today. So the GXO, got to pick that up. Going to pick that up. Not adding to my teledoc, but I would, looking at the PRFT, the DICE I got to still read into, Confluent, the UHS, the UHS, United Health. We go back in on the ThoughtWorks. All right, and that's it. But we're also going to be focused on the ES a little bit more. I just want to just look at that beautiful chart. That is good. I want to put that on the watch list also. And when I say watch list, it officially goes on the HPS watch list, where I want to mark down the entry levels, the exits, the alerts, so they all get alerted to you. Let's go and I'll show you that right now. All right, taking a look at some of the current ones. So Mastercard here actually had an interesting setup on it. I never ended up getting into Mastercard, but it actually, you can see where that buy trigger is. It kind of gapped up, went up to our target, then came back to the lower trend line. If I extended this out, it was a perfect tag to the lower trend line, triggered, and then went right back up to the profit zone. So if you ended up getting in there, you had a nice trade on that. That was Mastercard. The Kellogg, still active. Kellogg is. It's what's good about this. Let me see if I could move this over a bit so you can see everything properly. You had that trend line breakout, the first rotation back down to the 200, and you can see that the market started hanging here, and then we got a wicked flush, and the next day we came right back. So we activated it at that point. We said, all right, this is kind of a, that was, I don't know even what caused that, but it was kind of a, almost a manipulatory move down on the stock, because the next day it came right back, and we started from that point again, popped up, pulled back, starting to make its way up here. This looks much better now that we've kind of put in a couple, definitely this reversal candle looks really, really good. The downward trend line's holding, and our target's above it. So this continues to look really, really good now. Actually better than it did, especially after today's the nice day here. Fleetcor, another one. The kind of chopping around here, but we actually had now, we kind of pulled back, staying above our stop, and now pushing back up through the buy zone. It looks like the momentum is here. This one looks like it's going to go pretty fast next week to the 275, 280 level. So this is still very active. Looks good. Momentum is there for that one. Momentum is definitely there for that one. I would expect that one to continue. Con Edison, I saw the, that wasn't in the utility stock, but I did see the alert come through this week. And it just, what happened was the market here just sold off. This almost got up to its target. It pulled back, hit the trend line, went up. Didn't get to the target. What are you going to do? Came back down and kind of drifted back down, and now it's just underneath. That's why it says it stopped out. Don't like it. We'll just leave it. ITI is still active, and pretty. We're ready. We're ready to break out here. Started moving up, pulled back. Now we're back up here towards the top trend line, expecting us to break out and move up. So still very bullish. I think next week, actually, we're going to get some news. All right, I'm just just feeling that that news is due. Now Disney, I got to figure out what happened Disney here, because we took the Disney trade, and Disney was moving up here, and then all of a sudden the news came down. I had this trend line. We were live on the air. It came right down to the trend line, and then bounced off of it. Now the trend line actually was right in that buy zone too. So it actually came down into that buy zone. But the trend line, we had it both on our main channel and on the HPS. You can see where that channel hit it to the penny, and now it's bounced off. I don't see no reason why it doesn't start to move back up. I'm out of the trade at once. That 177 was like a pretty decent move we had on it. What do we get on that? 6 points or so. All right, and then we got there we go. This one is already done. All right, that's actually consolidating, ultra clean. All right, so look for new charts to be added to that this weekend, or it's right after I do this video. We'll get the new ones. UHS is going on there. The GXO, probably the US, the UHS, DICE, the GXO. A couple other ones, probably the PRFT. And the TWKS, put that one on there. All right. I want to send this out, get this out. I want to work on moving some things over on the other screen. And thanks for tuning in to me on this watch list. It was a great week. Next week looks good. Start off the week. Sunday futures open, so we'll have that up on the screen for you. DayTraderRadio.com. I'm still looking at this next target, the 40. I think we get through that 4,500 area and get up to the, say, 4,508 area. Now that's this trend line could be off a bit, so this could be off a bit. I'm really looking at this tag, very close. So this is. The closer we get to that, maybe it does run through that 4,500. 4,500, another 40, 45 points. That's not out of the picture at all. Early next week, and that's where I'd probably initiate some short, concentrate on a bigger move to the pullback, maybe a couple days down before deciding what to do. But that's going to be very close to the highs again. And if we do get up to that trend line, mark me. A lot of people are going to be calling for this market to move higher, and we'll probably end up doing that. See everyone. Have a great weekend. I'll see everyone on Monday.